All right, folks, it's January 22nd, 2025, and we got an XRP pump update. And yes, I put pump in the title because I need to remind everybody what's actually taking place right now. I hadn't made the most recent measurement to see how far XRP had actually pumped here just in the past 2.5 months, but I got an updated measurement for you here, and we're going to get started right away. I'm going to explain, for those that are new here, for those that need reminding, that yes, we are in the middle of an XRP pump. I know that folks are watching some of my most recent updates talking about even more money coming in. Yes, more money is going to come in. We have to recognize how far we've already pumped, and yes, how much further we are going to go. This setup for XRP is absolutely beautiful, and your impatience in the meantime is only going to hurt yourself as it leads to irrational decisions while we're in the middle of a historical pump. Sometimes we need a little bit of reminding. So in tonight's episode, we're going to break it down, an XRP pump update, current events. We got ourselves a new country, a restored republic here in the United States of America, and we're going to be celebrating that fact. And yes, I did get myself an XRP haircut tonight. Actually, my barber, the owner of the barbershop, he's heavy into XRP, but I actually got my haircut done by one of the other guys in the shop. And I didn't ask him if he owned any XRP, but he did say that he has some Shiba. So we got an XRP haircut. I'm still going to call it an XRP haircut. And if my guy didn't have any XRP, I might have to tip him some XRP next time. But looking fresh, looking clean. I appreciate the fresh cut as we get started here on tonight's live show. Thank you so much for stopping by. All the new merch is available at our shop. Make sure you guys check that out. And let's get rocking and rolling, okay? Cheers. Let's go. All right, guys, getting started here. Like I said, I'm going to remind everybody what's taking place. This is a move that we haven't measured yet, so we're going to do that right now. Here, take a look. Remember, this was a pump of 488% all the way up to 290. Right before the election, up until 290, that was 488%. And so I had been saying, hey, guys, this was nearly a 5x or a 500% move. Well, now we've done it. Here's your updated chart for XRP on the daily, going back to the day before the election. You have yourself a 589% pump for XRP. That's right. For the memes, for the Riddlers, 589. Such a special number here in the XRP community. For those who know about the COMEX rule 589 and everything behind that number. No, it's not a price prediction. It means much more than that, right? It's just like the Trump XRP shirt that I got on right here. People thought it was a meme. People thought it was a joke. Now they're seeing it for themselves. We'll be talking about that more later. Back to the chart, 589% this swing for XRP. Now, a lot of new people have been coming in after $2, after $3, and they're wondering when is it going to pump even further, right? They want to catch that 5x. Well, the good news is based off of our most recent analysis on the order books, it's looking like we still have another 5x potential with ease on XRP. With ease, that's right. And so that's what I'm going to be explaining in tomorrow's update is I'm going to go through the order book and we're going to track the inflows every single day. We're going to average it out, and I'm going to give you guys even more data to back up these claims. You know, folks are asking, when's all this money going to come in that you're talking about? It's already been coming in. There's just a whole hell of a lot more coming in. And so please position yourself accordingly because there's a lot more coming. And this is XRP already at a $3 price, already pricing out most folks. And the folks are going to be coming in here, FOMOing in all the way up to $10 and beyond for XRP. Now, I got a lot of news to cover, so I wanted to get into it, but I wanted to explain why I'm titling this show XRP Pump Update, because there is still a pump going on. Even if the chart comes down here on the daily, even if you're looking at your 5-minute chart and you're tweaking out over a little red candle on your 15-minute chart, zoom out, get some perspective. The number went higher by 589%. These are returns that the traditional financial space dreams of. And we just did it in 2 months. And we're not done. That's the best part. We're not even close to being done. So let's check it out here, guys. This is Saudi Crown Prince MBS speaks with U.S. President Trump on the phone. Saudi Crown Prince tells Trump that the kingdom seeks to increase its investments in trade with the United States by at least $600 billion in the next 4 years. Saudi state news agency. So that's your update on the art of the deal. We also saw the press conference that took place in regards to AI and a couple other topics I can't talk about here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And what President Trump is doing is he's really bringing these guys to the table, and we're either going to get a deal done or not. You saw the SoftBank CEO had a commitment of $100 billion, and Trump, said right on the spot, let's up that to $200 billion, as he absolutely manhandled the CEO of SoftBank, shaking his hand, grabbing him by the shoulder and just yanking him around up there. And that's how this guy operates. This is where he starts negotiations. He starts negotiations that we're going to tariff you at 100%, and then we work back from there. And I got to listen to some of the Canadians up in Canada, up at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference this weekend, getting a little scared there about the tariffs. And I was telling them, don't worry, guys. This is just where we start negotiations at. We're going to take it easy on you. It's going to be a fair deal. Don't worry, okay? But this is your update on the art of the deal, right? SoftBank CEO, not only did he come back and commit $200 billion, now they're coming back with the group there committing $500 billion to AI investment. Now, I actually saw the Elon saying that they've only secured about $10 billion so far. But this is the beautiful thing, is that Trump is parading these guys out in front for everybody to see, and it really is putting them on the spot. And that's what I want, right? And hey, if they fail and they don't achieve $500 billion of investment, but at least we can secure, even half that is going to be moving us in the right direction. Same thing, Saudi Crown coming in here saying that they want to do $600 billion in investments in trade over the next 4 years. So just between those two deals, we're talking about $1 trillion deal just right there. We're 48 hours into a new administration. Do you see how quickly this is changing? And like I said, there's a lot of follow-up to be conducted. Don't think that, we're just worshiping Trump over here. Like, everything that he touches turns to gold. But I'll tell you, whatever he's involved in is a hell of a lot better than the deal we were getting beforehand. Can we all acknowledge that? And as I said in the update earlier today, whether you love them or you hate them, take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, please. Your family's counting on you. Are you going to look back at your grandchildren and tell them that you were too busy getting offended and getting your you-know-what in a knot to take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history? Because what a mistake that would be, wouldn't it? Let's get it going, huh? What do you guys say? Two deals right there, $1 trillion invested, and that's just the start. Now you got Sam Altman flipping. All these guys are flipping and really showing their true character. Watching POTUS more carefully recently has really changed my perspective on him. I wish I had done more of my own thinking and definitely fell into the NPC trap. Yeah, gee, go figure, right? When you turn off the mainstream media, when you're not worried about political correctness, when you decide it's time to win for once, well, it's incredible what can happen. I'm not going to agree with him on everything, but I think he will be incredible for the country in many ways. Final point that I want to make on this. Whether you love him, whether you hate him, I think that it's time, and I think that every American feels this, it's time to root for this country again. Now, we were rooting for Biden. I know some folks will hop out and say, well, it's easy for you to say root for Trump. He's your guy. Okay, there's no my guy. It's my country. And it's the greatest opportunity that was known to man. That's what made us so great. That's what I'm rooting for. And I am going to be rooting for President Trump while he's in this position, just like I was rooting for Biden. But I can tell you emphatically that although I was rooting for Biden every single day, he didn't show up every single day. He showed up every other day at best. And when he did show up, he didn't even know where he was at. And so every time he did do something, it was probably the complete opposite of what I would have done or had him do. And every time he did show out, it was a complete embarrassment on behalf of every single American. And even that, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, you can agree on that. And so once again, as I said, I was rooting for Obama. I was thinking about this earlier today. At least with Obama, we were still being respected. He was smooth talking too. He did a great job. We still had respect. Did I agree with everything that Obama did? Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. But I was rooting for America and I felt like we had a chance. Same thing here. I'm asking for everybody to come together and, you should be rooting for this country and you need to be taking the actions to win for your family. That's what this comes down to. Sam Altman, the most recent to flip, we saw Mark Zuckerberg, we saw Bezos, even Gates showing up. And Trump's bringing all these guys in. And the negotiations are underway. the master of the art of the deal, getting to work rather quickly on these guys. Now, while some folks are crying about a little dip in crypto, the biggest institutions in the world are scooping it up. BlackRock is back. They just bought $600 million of Bitcoin, their largest buy so far this year. Like I said, a lot of people are going to get left behind here. A lot of short-term traders, a lot of get rich quick, a lot of I just bought in and I want to be rich tomorrow. Well, you're going to get cleaned. And, same folks that continue to build up these expectations on, oh, Trump's getting inaugurated today. Crypto has to pump up and go to the moon as the market makers absolutely clean you out and take your shirt. That's how this game is played. They wreck you up, and then 2 days later, BlackRock comes in with their largest buy of the year. That's how the game is played. So if you want to win, well, take notes, right? Remember what the classic saying, watch what they do, not what they say. Well, now we can watch what they're doing, and we can watch what they're saying as the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink. Now, he's one of the biggest crypto bulls in existence. He's one of the biggest proponents of crypto now that he's been updated by Robbie Mitchnick, who did come from Ripple, right? He's the one that helped Larry Fink see the light. And now Larry Fink says that cryptocurrencies are going to transcend traditional currencies. Now, continuing on that thread, I wanted to just show you guys this here once again. This is what we call hidden in plain sight. This is President Trump holding up the XRP coin in an article that is in regards to Asia's digital asset markets. Lawmakers in some of Asia's digital asset markets are warming up to the industry as Donald Trump's pro-crypto agenda in the U.S., wait for it, ripples through the region. Okay? So, now, this was also used by CNBC yesterday, the same exact picture of Trump holding up the XRP coin, the same exact picture that you're looking at on my shirt. Yes, this is not just a meme. This is not just a riddle. This is actually happening. Yeah, this is real life. We're actually doing this. Ripple is in the White House right now, right? And now we have them using this, and CNBC made an article about the Trump coin getting an ETF, and they used this picture of Trump holding the XRP coin in the picture there, in the headline, in the thumbnail, right? And then here in this caption, they say, as Donald Trump's pro-crypto agenda in the U.S. ripples through the region. As I said in the update earlier today, these guys live off of mocking you to your face. Hidden in plain sight. They put it right out in front of you. That's part of the ritual. That's part of harvesting your energy. That's part of cleaning out and taking your shirt as you get, scared, a little bit of FUD. Oh, market didn't pump. Trump coin took all the liquidity out. Oh, I'm going to cry. BlackRock swoops in and buys $600 million worth as they line up their plans for an XRP ETF. All this talk of Trump coin ETF and fart coin ETF. Well, just wait till you see what the inflow, and we're going to see what happens, because it's one thing to get an ETF, and it's going to be another thing to actually track the inflows. And I think that even JP Morgan's conservative assumption of 8 billion, I think it's actually going to fall short of what we end up seeing. And those inflows are going to lead to an XRP price point going up to 20 or 30 bucks. More on that in the next update. By the way, I wanted to ask you guys, are you guys getting the notification bells? I want to make sure you guys are. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you guys getting the notifications? If you aren't, well, maybe it's because you're not subscribed. Maybe you haven't hit the notification bell, but make sure we get that done. And let me know in the comments down below if you guys are getting your notifications. Just want to make sure. Neats bucks. To be clear, crypto payments does not mean RippleNet with no public blockchain involvement. It means crypto, which means RLUSD on the XRP ledger or Ethereum, or simply XRP by itself. The quote, banks will never use it crowd will be moving their goalposts back significantly in the coming years. And hasn't that been very hilarious to watch? Not just on the point of the banks aren't going to use it, but on all the other points too, from XRP's not going to break a dollar this bull run to XRP's not going to break $2 this bull run. XRP's not going to break $3 this bull run. Pretty soon they're going to be saying XRP's not going to break $10 as we pass over $10. They'll say, how is this possible that XRP's at a $20 price with a $2 trillion market cap? How is this working? Can somebody help me understand the maths? The market cap maths, please help me understand this. And they're going to be crying all the way up. Same crowd that said there's never going to be an XRP ETF. As JP Morgan now predicts that we're going to definitely get an XRP ETF. And the XRP ETF is going to get more inflows than the Solana ETF. 4 to 8 billion is their conservative assumption. And so like Neatspecs is pointing out right here, the FUD that we heard over the years was banks are partnering with Ripple, but they're not using XRP. Well, that was the case for some, but then they moved, and now about half the liquidity started to move on to on-demand liquidity using cryptocurrency. But now we're going to see even more of that accelerate, and that's going to come from RLUSD, that stablecoin. Now, why are folks going to choose the XRP ledger? I'll show you a prime example right here. Xaman wallet with a little update over here. Over the past year, Xaman processed 6 billion in on-chain XRP payments, and it cost our users just $510. I'm going to repeat. Xaman processed 6 billion in on-chain payments, cost the users and fees a total of $510. Do you see why the incumbent banking system is so worried about giving in to XRP without getting a piece of the action? And it's not just, oh, let's settle some liquidity using Ripple. Let's settle some of the liquidity using, XRP. It's going to be, hey, Ripple, can you hook us up with 5 billion XRP so we can add that to our balance sheet? Because clearly we're not going to be making money off fees. So we're going to need 5 billion XRP on our balance sheet because we see where this sucker's going price-wise. We're not going to make our monies on the fees, but we're going to make our monies on the 5 billion XRP that we're going to acquire. Or maybe they already did acquire. And that veil's being lifted right now on all the banks getting ready and lined up to start using this technology. But a prime example of the XRP ledger efficiency, 6 billion on-chain payments, $510 in fees. That's unheard of. That's the magic of XRP. Seamless, secure, and very cheap. Xaman is proud to be the heart of the XRP ecosystem, powering real-world utility. Over to Vet. In about a week, we'll see the XRP RLUSD automated market maker pool being created. I want you to be careful if you race to provide liquidity. Impermanent loss is a factor you need to count in. Anyone using the pool to swap assets instead is okay. Now, what you need to watch out here is as these pools are young and just getting developed, and as XRP is still incredibly volatile, obviously RLUSD should be pegged to $1, should stay there pretty close. But where you're going to get the impermanent loss is on XRP. If XRP is shooting up to double digits and beyond, that's where you're going to experience the impermanent loss if you add liquidity to that pool as it's getting established while XRP is not stable. But with that being said, we are just 1 week away from the AMM clawback amendment going live. This is the amendment that allows assets like RLUSD that have clawback enabled to be added to the AMM liquidity pools. Remember, Ripple had to have clawbacks enabled on RLUSD to be in compliance with the banking laws here in this country. So absolutely critical to be in compliance. That's why we had to have clawback. And when the AMM first went live on the XRP ledger, if you had clawback enabled on your issued asset, you could not add it to an AMM, right? Because how does that make sense? How can you provide liquidity to an asset, and build out an open pool of liquidity if you can claw it back, right? Well, you want to be able to take these assets that have clawback enabled and still be able to tap into that liquidity. So that's why they issued this amendment. It is passed. And remember, when these amendments pass, it takes 2 weeks for them to go into effect. So the votes, the 80% consensus on the XRP ledger has to hold for 2 weeks, and then the amendment goes live. We're 1 week away. Why is this important? Because I'm going to show you here in this next slide how little total value lock or liquidity we have in our AMM so far and how quickly this is going to grow. Check this out. This is DeFi Llama right here, and you're looking at the TVL on the XRP ledger right here. Let me actually zoom in here on this chart right there. That's the TVL on the XRP ledger, and this is our AMM, now up at 84 million of total value lock. Prod LB, thank you for the 10 spot. Been a long while, Zach. Shout out to XLM holders too. Yes, shout out to XLM holders as well. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Jason, Sinker, 2 spot. XRP, XCN, XLM, XDC, HBAR, let's go. I did pick me up some of that XCN. I did. Full disclosure, I did pick up a bag. But guys, 84 million in total value lock. That's the DeFi term, right? And in these, basically, we're coming up with standard terms that can be used across, basically to track this data across all the chains. And what's interesting is it says total value lock, but really the liquidity is not locked. At any time, you can pull your liquidity back out. So the total value locked kind of can be misleading. But basically, at the end of the day, you just have to understand that this is the amount of value in dollar terms that's in our liquidity pools. And it's not even 100 million yet. It's at 84 million of total value locked. And you've seen the spike here since September, how quickly that's grown. And the total value locked before that was at like 10 million. It was nothing. There was no activity happening on the XRP ledger as far as DeFi up until basically October, when the memes started kicking off on the XRP ledger. Now, what's interesting is that the Ripple stablecoin RLUSD only has about 97 million so far in market cap or tokens created. So we haven't even achieved 100 million in market cap for RLUSD. And we haven't even achieved 100 million in total value lock in our AMM liquidity pools. And I believe that that's going to change rapidly as we see RLUSD with the ability to be adding to the AMM on that one. You're going to see our total value lock grow exponentially. I think we're going to pass through 100 million here rather quickly within the next month. And then you're going to be seeing this year, I'm expecting RLUSD to grow in market cap well into the billions, not millions, not hundreds of millions, billions. And we may even do over 10, 20 billion in growth for RLUSD. Other catalysts that could drive that even faster would be Tether being delisted. Tether's already having their troubles. But even without Tether getting in trouble, even without us taking market share from any other stablecoin, RLUSD is already growing rapidly. And that's because Ripple has so many institutional partners. And this stablecoin was needed on the XRP ledger. And so from retail wanting to use this stablecoin and institutions wanting to use this, I think that you're going to see the market cap of this RLUSD surpass 100 million probably within the next couple of weeks. And then throughout this year, I think you're going to see RLUSD grow in market cap to probably over 10 billion easily. I'll look at that a little bit more closely, and I'll give you guys a more exact prediction as far as how much I think the RLUSD will grow this year. But you combine that into the RLUSD, XRP, AMM liquidity pools, and you also look at all of the meme coins, right? Now all of these meme tokens can be paired up against RLUSD as well too. So instead of having your meme token or whatever it is, casino coin versus XRP, you can do casino coin versus RLUSD. So we're going to see even more liquidity being added to the AMMs. And this once again puts more XRP locked up, more XRP to work, and it reduces that overall amount of supply that's available for liquidity for Ripple's payments and other networks like that. Now, we did get an update here in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, a little amicus brief in support of the SEC from Better Markets Inc. Okay? So Better Markets Inc. filing an amicus brief in support of the SEC. That's right. Now, the XRP community is already over the target. We've already researched who's behind these guys. And, it's hilarious that they are running with the Better Markets name. This is a nonprofit entity. And it's hilarious that they call themselves Better Markets because it's like, better markets for who? Right? If you read through this brief and the support that they're giving to the SEC and the fact that they're calling for basically all secondary market sales to be unregistered securities offering, just like the SEC suggested, pretty clearly shows us who they're aligned with. But then we started to dig into it and we found out for ourselves that the Better Markets CEO is ex-Biden Harris transition team. And how'd that program work out, right? He was responsible for reviewing the Federal Reserve Board system, SEC, CFTC, FDIC, the OCC, and the NCUA, working collaboratively with other review teams, including the Treasury Review Team. Furthermore, look at this nice little review that Better Markets has here from Senator Elizabeth Warren. That's right. What are people saying about Better Markets? Of course, Elizabeth, I got a plan for that, Warren, has great things to say about them. Dennis Keller and his team at Better Markets have consistently pushed for financial reform that will help protect the U.S. economy from another financial crash. They are strong partners in the fight to level the playing field for middle-class families and have been persistent fighters for the American people, their jobs, savings, and retirements. Doesn't Elizabeth just get you fired up? I gotta take a sip of my adult beverage after reading Elizabeth Warren. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. So we know who these guys are. It's obviously a joke, but let's get the response here from the lawyers who actually break this down. Jeremy Hogan says, Better Markets amicus brief was hard to read, not because I don't think that the case will ever be ruled on by the appellate court, but because it completely misses or misconstrues what the trial judge ruled. The trial judge did not rule that sales of XRP on exchanges were not sales of securities because they didn't buy directly from Ripple. Instead, the judge ruled, quote, Ripple's programmatic sales were blind bid-ask transactions, and programmatic buyers could not have known if their payments of money went to Ripple or any other seller of XRP. Ripple won because purchasers didn't know whether they were buying from John Smith, Shen Jui, or Ripple, and therefore could not have been relying on the seller to increase the price. And all that globbity-gook at the end of the quote above, that references to the actual record of the case upon which the judge relied. Those are the facts that are being applied to the law. This brief doesn't tackle the main issue head on, and that is very frustrating. Better Markets doesn't like the application of the facts to the law, but instead of tackling either one directly, it simply argues that the result is not right, and the SEC won't be able to protect us from ourselves if this decision is upheld. Now, excuse me while I get back to watching the entire series of Gary Gensler's Office Hours for the 10th time. So we appreciate Jeremy Hogan for the update on this. And I read through parts of this brief as well, and absolutely ridiculous arguments that they're being made. But when you see who's supporting them, when you see who's behind this group, Biden-Harris transition team, how that program work out, right? You see what's going on here. And so another pathetic attempt of this group that's been holding back cryptocurrency up until now, and they're not done, right? They're still trying to hold back crypto. And they should have got the message when Trump launched his meme coin 24 hours before he took office in the White House, launching a meme coin 24 hours before taking over the White House. That should have been the message that was received by these guys. And they should have known to just stay in your lane. And, that this is not going to go anywhere. Once again, the judge had basically a series of a few different types of sales in front of her that she had to rule on. And so she could not come out and say that basically XRP can never be sold in a security. It can be packaged up, and that's what she ruled on. The sales to institutions had a contract involved that did have expectations from both sides of the transaction, from Ripple and the institution that they were selling XRP to. There was an investment contract. So Judge Torres said, yeah, that broke the law. But these other sales did not. These were blind bid ask. Nobody knew who they were buying the XRP from. They went to the exchange. They bought the XRP. They have no idea where it came from. So how could they be relying on Ripple when they didn't even know whether or not it came from Ripple, right? And buying XRP on the secondary market, you have no expectations, you have no rights, you have no obligations from Ripple to you at all. So how, could we expect any other ruling besides Judge Torres acknowledging the facts of the case that were put in front of her, taking a look at the different examples of sales done by Ripple, and she determined that yes, there was an investment contract here. On all these other sales of XRP, there was not. This case is actually very clear, cut, and dry. It's just the SEC and this gang, this cabal that's been trying to stifle crypto wants to do away with our access to crypto and force us and lock us down in the CBDC society. They're the ones that are still trying to fight us, even though the mandate from the American people has been delivered. President Trump is looking to fulfill that. The most pro-crypto Congress in our history is looking to follow through on that. And yet these guys are still clowning around, filing an amicus brief like it absolutely means anything. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it? It's almost commendable how they have no shame and they just continue to fight forward, even though they continue to get smacked in the courts. They have lost in a landslide election. And we've elected the most pro-crypto Congress, politicians on both sides of the aisle. And it just baffles my mind as to why more people haven't come out to denounce Elizabeth Warren from her own party. It's like these guys that you've propped up, the Gary Genslers, the Elizabeth Warren, throwing Kamala in there and not even letting your party decide who gets to run. This is why you guys got absolutely cleaned. And if Elizabeth Warren had actually given John Dean a little bit more time a day and hadn't been so scared, she was in full panic over John Dean, which is why she only allowed 2 debates to take place. Because she knew how exposed she was going to be if she continued to allow John Dean to debate her on the actual policies. And so, does it surprise me? No. But they better figure out that the tides have shifted, their time is up, and we're moving forward without them. Now, the perfect example of this is the first Sunshine Act meeting that's going to be taking place here tomorrow. Now, don't come at me tomorrow if the case isn't settled up and the case isn't over, because that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that this is going to be a very important meeting tomorrow. For those of you guys who don't know, the Sunshine Act meetings, this is when the SEC sits down to discuss ongoing litigation, ongoing cases, and they decide what they want to do. Do they want to settle up? Do they want to take action? This is where these decisions are made. And the Sunshine Act forces the SEC to disclose this publicly when these meetings are taking place. So there's been much speculation in the XRP community every time these meetings come up. I mean, for the last 4 years, we've been speculating that the case is going to end. Trust me, I'm tired of talking about this case too. I'm over it. And, it really is over. This case is done. But the point that I'm making is that we have the SEC holding its first closed meeting since Mark Uyeda took over as acting chair on Thursday. Now that Gensler is gone, the other commissioner is gone. And so now we're left with 3. Hester Pierce, Mark Uyeda, and there's one other. They have enough to make decisions. Since they have 3, they can decide to settle up the SEC versus Ripple case tomorrow. That can happen. There is a possibility of that taking place. Now, whether they would announce that tomorrow or not, I don't know. But tomorrow there's a meeting. And the reason why I'm throwing this out there for something else to watch is because this is how they could show the shift, the vibe shift, the new tone, the new direction of the SEC by coming out and parading a settlement with Ripple. Saying, yes, we understand that the judge ruled that you should pay a fine of $125 million. We actually disagree and think that, we don't have clear laws from Congress. What you guys did was basically a speeding ticket violation in the securities world. So instead of collecting that $125 million from you guys, we're actually going to accept a penalty that's half that. We're going to accept $50 million, $25 million. And we're just going to button up this case. We're going to give you a little slap on the wrist. In good faith, you guys did what was right. I mean, for crying out loud, they might come out and just say, don't pay us a dime. I mean, that would be unheard of. That's probably unprecedented for the SEC to be awarded a judgment like this and for them to come out and just drop it completely. But who knows, right? But the reason why I wanted to make you guys aware is because we're just 24 hours away from the first meeting taking place with our SEC since Gary Gensler is gone. Now, let me check our super chats, and then we're going to give you the XRP pump update as far as what we need to be watching for this week. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you like this video, Please help me out by sharing it far and wide. We're about to get into Q&A. I got a tall adult beverage to sip on here. So I'm going to check the chat. Let me check our chat reel here, making sure I didn't miss any other super chats. Crypto Cowboy came in with the 5 spot. Thank you for the Zach attack. Thank you, Cowboy. Claim on X that Rosie Rios is on stage near Elon at the inauguration. No, that was not Rosie. I believe that was actually somebody else that looked kind of like Rosie Rios. I know what picture you're talking about, Dennis. I think that was somebody else. Prod LB, thank you for the 10 spot. I already saw yours. Jason, thank you for the 2 spot. Yep. Brianna Gibson, you're cute. LOL. XRP 1000, Zach. Your thoughts, please. Are you talking about XRP to 1,000? Yeah. I don't rule out any of these high prices for XRP because I don't know how much our currency is going to be devalued. And I don't know how high XRP is going to go before they reset the dollar. Those are the kind of the big things that I'm waiting to see how that plays out before I'm willing to say XRP can't go to $1,000. Now, I'm not going to hang my hat on XRP going to $1,000, but I'm not going to rule it out. So that's where I stand as far as $1,000 XRP. Look at Linda Jones' new X post, settles within the week. Thank you, 2020 MC. Thank you for the 5 spot. I'll check that out. Carlos, thank you for the 2 spot. Should we buy now or wait for tomorrow's news? You buy based off of, seeing opportunities to get in at lower prices. I wouldn't hang my hat so much on looking out on these events. I mean, that could be, this news could start circulating and people could start expecting a settlement. And then when it doesn't happen, we could get a sell-off, right? This happens time and time again. We saw it on the inauguration. Folks were thinking that Trump was going to say Bitcoin during the inauguration, even though we have 1,000 other more important issues to solve besides Bitcoin. The expectation was that he was going to say Bitcoin or crypto, and he didn't. And so people sold, and the market had a pullback. That's when you slide in. When the SEC filed their appeal brief against Ripple, XRP dropped below $3. That's when you slide in and scoop. During the last month, XRP went below $2 3 times. That's when you scoop. Right? You take advantage of these pullbacks, and the pullbacks, can come with news. They can come without news. You got to determine, do you want to buy this asset based off of the fundamentals, or if it's a momentum trade based off of the momentum, and do you want, and then after you've made the determination that yes, I do want to buy, then you're going to use technical analysis to determine when's a good time to buy. And often what I tell folks is you can hop in an asset now and say you have $1,000 and you have a little bit of FOMO. You're thinking, oh crap, I need to get some now. I got that itch. And what I do all the time is I'll just take half my bag that I have to deploy. I'll throw it at the asset now, but then I'll look to buy in a little bit lower. And sometimes that number comes down and you're able to buy a little bit lower and execute that. Sometimes it doesn't. And then you're caught buying higher, right? But the idea is that you dollar cost average or ladder into a position, and then we also ladder out on the way out. So you're basically dollar cost averaging in, dollar cost averaging out, because no one can predict these markets perfectly. So should we buy now or wait? Well, that is your answer. Dennis, Rosie Rios had a position and number at Valhill Advisors for a few months. Then it was scrubbed from the internet. Checking my files. Yeah, Dennis, I think I did go back and get your first super chat. But yes, I don't think that Rosie Rios ever had a position or was part of Valhill at all. I would have known about that. I would have talked about that with Jimmy. So I'm not aware of any of that. Nick Fields, Evernote confirmed to be at XRP Ledger Apex 2025. That's good. Evernote, good. Love to see it. Keep doing what you do for us, Zach. Bus driver, thank you for the 10 spot. Really appreciate it. Okay, guys, here we are in our XRP pump update. Check it out. This is from Bassi. We have 5 days, 5 hours left on the weekly chart. And he posted this, what was this, yesterday? He posted this yesterday, but the point remains, right? We're looking at this week. Where does XRP need to close this week for us to continue following this 2017 fractal? For those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, the 2017 fractal is the pattern that XRP traded in during 2017 when it went from 20 cents to $3.80 in 1 month. So we're watching XRP has been following this 2017 fractal perfectly for the last 11 weeks. So we're in the middle of week 12. Where do we have to close? Check it out. Our target for this 12th week has always been $8 to $10. Anything less than this on the weekly close is invalidation of my very specific thesis. We have about 150% to go to reach $8. It's a big ask, but it is possible, and we have seen massive weeks before from XRP. But for now, I would not be surprised at all if we start seeing crazy price action in these coming days. XRP has moved up exactly when it needed to, and I don't see why it would stop now. I will watch how this week will close, and I will be adjusting my plan from there. Now, this is the chart that he's looking at right here, and you can see where we've gone so far. And so we have a little bit of catch up to do on this chart, right? Some of these green candles, yes, we have matched, we have printed these green candles, but they're not quite as big as this 2017 fractal. So he's saying that he wants us to close between $8 and $10 this week to validate his thesis on how high we're going. Now, in another post that he put out, he explained this thesis last week. And basically it went something along the lines of, we need to continue following this pattern. We need to close this week above $8 to $10. And if we do so, we follow this pattern all the way through, we're going to be well above $20, even approaching upwards of $25 or $30 XRP this bull run. Now he says that if we do invalidate, and so we don't close above $8 to $10 this week, then we've invalidated the pattern. He's got 2 exit strategies for XRP. And the good news is, from his analysis, even if we do invalidate and we don't go up to $8 to $10 this week, in his second scenario, he still has XRP topping out at about $20 this bull run. So in the best case scenario, we close this week up at about $8. That confirms that we could well be on our way to a $25 or $30 XRP this bull run. I know, it's pretty crazy, right? If we invalidate, it just means that we're probably only going to about $15 to $20 this bull run, which is just fine with me, right? Has just fine for me this bull run. That's this year. This year. So once again, I'm going to pull up the XRP chart on the 15 minutes because I want to show you this. Drop your comments and questions down below. We're going to get into rapid fire Q&A right now. I still have myself an adult beverage here to sip on, so we're going to be enjoying ourselves. But I want you to take a look at this XRP pump that took place here today, and they killed it both times pretty quickly. So we have, this is the 15-minute chart. This is where we started out, right? Last night into this morning, we were up here at about 325. And then this morning, earlier today, we popped up to about 326. And then we eventually went and topped up here at about 328 for XRP before they came in and smacked this thing down. So they're smacking this thing down, keeping it suppressed a little bit longer. We have a big sell wall facing us at about $3.50. But after we break through that sell wall at $3.50, there's not much stopping us to take us to about $4. Now from there, we tracked Cassie Trade's analysis just the other day. She says that there's not much resistance from there up to $10. So, you know, a couple things could be aligning right now that take XRP up towards $8 to $10 here in the next week or so. That's what we want to see to, you know, confirm that XRP still has a good chance of finishing up above 20, 25, $30 this bull run. If not, we just go and we reevaluate, you know, as we get fresh data, as we get new updates from the chart, we reevaluate our technical analysis and we, you know, determine if we want to adjust our XRP exit strategy from there. But either way, it looks like we have double digits on the way, and it looks like it's coming in rather sooner than later. So please prepare yourself accordingly. Now, with that being said, I do want to plug our sponsor real quick, which is yours truly. All of our merch is now available at the shop. All of our affiliate links are linked up. You guys know the deal. I appreciate your support. And that's your word from your sponsor. Okay? Thank you. If you haven't already, let's make sure we smack it too. Let's go rapid fire. How we doing tonight? How we doing? Appreciate you guys. Okay? Update. Here we go. Super chats. Alan, thank you for the 10 spot. Appreciate you, Alan Stoll. Marvel Cabinetry, thank you. $13.99 Canadian funny money. Gotta love it. Has anyone looked at how much is being hodled? What about supply shortage? I can't see many selling until some of these catalysts come to fruition. That's a good point. And it actually reminds me of a point that I wanted to make about Caleb and Brown. But I'll answer your question here first. How much is being held? In my opinion, you have 10, 20 billion XRP that's being held. That's not in circulating supply. That's not going to be sold. And I'm talking about retail XRP holders, not Ripple, not institutions, in the hands of retail holders. That's not going to be sold until we get to $50, $100, or $500 XRP. Like for me, I got half my bag of XRP, which doesn't get touched under maybe ever. Literally, might never sell it. Just hold it, take out loans against it. And so, yeah, that's one thing that I'll take a look at in my evaluation that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm going to be I'm going to be going through CoinGlass in the order books, and I'm going to be tracking our inflows that we've had since November, since this pump started. And I'm going to be able to give you guys the average market cap multiplier that we've seen on XRP since November 4th. And with that data, we'll be able to see how this dynamic is playing out as far as new money coming into XRP, how little money coming in it's taking for XRP to shoot up. And with the ETFs coming this year, we could easily see 5 to 10 billion of inflows into XRP just off of that, let alone all of the additional DeFi and everything else. And just retail still buying XRP and piling into this asset as well. But I wanted to make a point on Caleb and Brown. So I was just having a conversation actually with Jake Boyle from Caleb and Brown. And we were talking about on these exchanges. I want you guys to check this out because I did conduct a test sale of XRP. Full disclosure, I did sell a little XRP at $3. Okay. I sold 1,000 XRP and I'm using that money to buy my tickets to XRP Las Vegas. I didn't want to take any more cash and have to, buy my tickets to Vegas. And so I figured, okay. And really what I wanted to do was a test transaction. So I went to Uphold and I sold off 1,000 XRP and cashed out that 3,000. And I was able to send it to my bank account instantly like that. And that's what I wanted to see. Now, I did learn though. We had a little learning lesson because I already had placed a limit order to sell 1,000 XRP at $3. It did not execute. And I don't know why. I'm not blaming Uphold. It probably was something that I did. I don't know why it didn't execute because XRP went above $3 and it was up to like 306, 307 and my order still didn't go through. So I had to manually go on there and hit a market sell. And that's how I was able to sell 1,000 XRP at $3.05. So my order at $3 didn't go through. That was a limit order. For whatever reason, didn't go through. But thankfully I was watching. And so I went and I hit a market sell. And I know we're going to look back at this moment and laugh at me selling 1,000 XRP, right? I'm going to be regretting this big time when XRP goes up to 10,000, right? But I wanted to conduct a test. I wanted to see how well Uphold could handle it. And they did. And, Uphold, they charged me like a 1.5% fee for withdrawing and everything. So, after fees and everything, I think I sent, a little less than $3,000 to my bank account. And that's what I'm going to go use to go buy my tickets to XRP Las Vegas for me and wifey. That's what I didn't sell, for any other reason than to run that test, really. And what we found is that, we were able to get that through and we were able to cash that out quickly. But I was just having a conversation with Jake from Caleb and Brown. And we were talking about how you guys got to watch here on some of these exchanges because I know that people have noted that Caleb and Brown, their fee is 3.5%, which seems high, right? You're looking at all these other exchanges that charge you 1% or 2%, right? Or 0.5%, right? And you're thinking, wow, how can Caleb and Brown get away with 3.5%? What you're not seeing is how hard you're getting hit on slippage and the less liquidity in an asset, the harder you're going to get hit on slippage. And then you also have to look at the amount that you can withdraw to your bank account. So on some of these exchanges, you can only withdraw 10,000 at a time. And so if you have 50,000 to send to your bank account, they're going to hit you with a 1% fee or whatever their withdrawal fee is every single time you cash out 10,000. Instead of Caleb and Brown, this is where their transparent pricing comes in, their transparent fees. You know you're going to get hit for 3.5%, okay? But the order is going to get through and there's no limit on how much you can cash out. So instead of sending 5 transactions to your bank account and getting hit 1% or 1.5% every single time, you're going to send that total amount, say it's $5 million. You're going to send that $5 million right away. There is no limit. You will pay that 3.5%, but you're not going to get hit on the slippage. They eat the slippage. And so I was talking with Jake about how some of these exchanges, they use what's called dynamic, what is it called? Dynamic slippage or dynamic pricing or something like that. Basically, when the market's not so hot, they hit you harder on fees. And when the market's hot, they might not hit you as bad because they're making their money. That's basically how that works. But they wrap it up in nice, fancy wording of dynamic pricing. And so that's what you're not seeing is the slippage. Basically, XRP, might be trading at $3, for example, right? But you're going to get hit on slippage. It's like when I bought RLUSD. I bought RLUSD. I spent $50 buying RLUSD, but I only received about 47 RLUSD because I got hit on slippage and I also got hit on my fee. So on the way out, you want to make sure that you're not going to get hit, one, on the transaction fees, but also on the withdrawal fees if you go to cash out to a bank account. So I was just talking about that with Jake yesterday, and I thought that it would be worthy to kind of bring that up for you guys. And so that's why I'm excited that I've added Caleb and Brown as another option for myself, and I've made that available for you guys as well too. So I would highly consider taking a look at them. Their transparency and their level of service is unmatched in this industry. Nobody else picks up the phone when you call them and will actually hold your hand and help you through the process of buying, selling, trading, and doing everything in regards to your crypto. So although that 3.5% fee might seem a little bit high, it's transparent and you know what you're going to be charged versus some of these other exchanges. They're hitting you on the back door. They're hitting you on the slippage, and you might not even be realizing it until you realize, wait, I thought I was cashing out $1 million, and for some reason I only have, 900,000, 950,000 that landed in my bank account, right? In my example of selling off 1,000 XRP, you're talking about a little amount. You get, little 1.5% fee, not a big deal, right? You're talking, $50 or whatever I paid in fees. It's not a big deal. But when you go to cash out and put those M's in the bank account, like the kids say, you better make sure you're not getting taken to town. And so have your options open. And that's why I like having the few that I have. Now, Alex came in with a 20 spot. Trump family buys 100 million of crypto as we speak. Do you think that the Trump administration will announce anything before they made their buy? Patience. Nothing's going to stop what's coming. Trump is a businessman in nature. We got the beef, Bourguignon. Yes. Alex, appreciate the 20 spot. I'm glad that you mentioned that. This is not Trump. Okay. Whatever the Trump team is doing with crypto and World Liberty Financial and Trump's meme coin, this isn't Trump. I understand that he said that he launched his coin in the press conference today. And that was pretty funny watching him field the questions on his meme coin from the press here today. It's like, is this really where we're at as a country where the president of the United States is having to, he's asking reporters what his meme coin is trading at? Is that really where we're at as a country? I still remain hopeful and optimistic that Trump is going to figure out how to spin this into a great deal. I really do. And I'm getting ready to actually buy myself some of the Trump coin, not going to lie. Even though I hate FOMOing into a coin that's already pumped, I'm just going to buy it out of principle. I'm going to throw some money at it just because I want to join in on that party of sending the message to the SEC, to the Elizabeth Warrens, that there is a new sheriff in town. And yes, we are launching meme coins, even though I think that the Trump, President Trump should have some other priorities ahead of him. I still I still am probably gonna partake in the Trump pump by buying his meme coin here now that it's available on Coinbase. I'm not downloading the Solana wallets and Phantom, and I'm not going to play around with that stuff. But yeah, XCN. A lot of people have been talking about XCN. I saw that the Ninja's still pumping it up, and I'm happy to see that. Very happy to see that. I would love to see that continue to pump. I got in right above a cent on XCN, and I'm going to be watching that one closely here. I think that it has a chance here of making a nice little run. Yeah. I still am looking to verify some of the things that they're trying to develop. There's not many partnerships yet. It's very early in the development. They're kind of revamping, their roadmap and their plans and stuff. But I'll be watching that coin closely now that I own some. I did make a little trade on that one. When does Japan go live? Japan's already going live. Japan's already using on-demand liquidity. And you're only going to see that grow from here. Yeah. Yeah. What are we sipping on? Cheap adult beverage. We're still sipping cheap adult beverage. So do you think that the plan is to open the ledger to the whole world soon? Yes. Yeah. America's about to be activated too, right? And that's really what we've been waiting for. America has the largest and deepest capital markets. And so that's why the world's kind of been waiting for America to get on board here. Once our institutions show up and get ready to play, we're going to be, I think, really leading the charge. See you in Vegas. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Do I know anything about Jasmine? Not much. I haven't taken a look at it. Okay, yeah, good question. So Med asks, Zach, why did Trump coin pump to $70 with 12 billion of market cap, but XRP is only at $3 with almost 200 billion in market cap? It's because there's only 200 million of supply of the Trump coin. So that's how it's at a higher price. It's at a way, way lower market cap, meaning that the overall coin, the value of the coin as a whole is way less than XRP, way less valuable than XRP. It's not even close to XRP. So be very clear about that. Just because the price of one token is trading higher than XRP does not mean that the overall asset is worth more than XRP. It's not even close. So that's why the Trump coin's at a higher price. And that's really the opportunity on a coin like that, is getting in early. It doesn't take much liquidity coming in to pump it up. It does not last. So it came back down here to about, just below 40 bucks, I believe. I'll pull up coin market cap right now and let's get an update here on the Trump coin. Bitcoin down to 102,800. Ethereum at 3,200. Man, Ethereum is just struggling. I mean, it's looking rough over there for Ethereum. Where did the Trump coin end up at here? Official Trump down to the 25 spot on coin market cap. The price is at $37.64. There's your chart. Yep. So the market cap right now is 7.5 billion. But what you have to understand, guys, is that 12 billion didn't come into Trump coin. It didn't achieve a $12 billion market cap off of 12 billion coming in. You're seeing dramatic market cap multipliers applied to these meme coins, especially these meme coins, actually. Right? So that's why Trump coin pumped so hard. It didn't take much to pump it in the very beginning. Right? This is a small asset. The supply is artificially low because they released only 200 million. And so that's why it pumped to $70 per token. How high, hopium, do you think the XRP can actually go? Well, like I said, I just don't put a limit on how high. I don't put a cap. I don't say there's no chance it can go to 500, 1,000. I don't rule out any of that. Did Jed sell the government? I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Jed sold all of his XRP off, though. Yeah, Jed sold all of his XRP. The taco stand wallet is closed up. I thought that market cap didn't matter, so XRP at 57 billion circulating supply. No. Market cap. Okay. Why is this so hard for folks to understand? It's a snapshot in time. Circulating supply by the last traded price gives you a market cap. And it gives you a number that means just about nothing as far as determining where it's going to go from there. Because these are not stocks. They don't move like stocks. As I've demonstrated, a market cap multiplier of 200 on XRP. What does that mean? It means that if $1 billion comes into XRP, the market cap grows by 200 billion. It's not a one-to-one comparison. 12 billion didn't go into Trump coin. 200 billion didn't come into XRP. 2 trillion didn't come into Bitcoin. Our overall cryptocurrency market cap is what? 3.6 trillion? Let me get the update. Coin market cap, refresh, 3.5 trillion. 3.5 trillion did not come into this space. Market cap is a figment of your imagination. It's a snapshot in time. Nothing more, nothing less. We cannot pull $3.5 trillion cash out of crypto right now. That's not how these markets work. There's not enough liquidity there to fill those orders. That's what this all comes back to, is liquidity. Well, you don't have to be rude. Answer the same question for the last 2 years, really, that we've been looking at a market cap. And I started to look at the liquidity value equation 2 years ago. And here we are in 2025, and we still have trolls trying to say that, oh, I thought that market cap doesn't matter. No, that's never what we said. You can always use market cap. What does market cap tell you? Like I said, it tells you what your imagination thinks is in an asset. Do I think that Melania is going to grow, or is it over? I don't think it'll have as much traction as Trump's coin. Would I rather see the lawsuit dismissed or settled? Why? Well, before this new SEC was in charge and before Gary Gensler was gone, I would have said that I would have loved to see Ripple fight the SEC all the way, just to stick it to them. But now I'd like to see it settled up. Yeah. I still don't get how SWI is so expensive compared to many others. Are you talking about fees? Or are you talking about in price for SWI? What is SWI at? Let me take a look. 440. It's number 13 spot. I can't believe that Tron's still a top 10 coin. That's incredible to me. Dogecoin's still up here at 7. Yeah, overall market kind of came back down today. When is XRP Vegas? May 30th and 31st. Do I think that a settlement will happen? Yes. Yes, I do. XRP right now is at 316. Okay, here's your 15-minute chart zoomed in. Trump is our president. That's right. Yes, he is. He is all of our president. Whether you like him, whether you love him, whether you hate him, you might as well take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. Settlement tomorrow? No, I don't think that they would announce the settlement tomorrow, but maybe they decide on it, right? They have this meeting that's going to be taking place tomorrow. And so maybe they decide on the settlement tomorrow, but, you know, they'll wait to announce it on Friday or next week. But yeah, this case is over. This case is done. Zach, could RLUSD, RL Euro, RL Yen replace CBDCs? Yes, that's what I hope to see for the rest of the world too, right? I was up in Vancouver this past weekend speaking with the Canadians, and they're worried about CBDCs, right? And I think rightfully so, okay? Canada only has like 4 major banks already anyways, right? There's like 4. And so Canada's already centralized, already top-down approach, and there should be a serious concern about a CBDC up there. Down here in the United States, I'm not worried about it at all. But what I hope for Canada, for Europe, for Japan and others, is that these countries can get a stable coin that's actually backed by real value, real collateral, and that but what we have to watch for is that just because something's a stable coin doesn't mean that the same level of surveillance that we kind of are worried about with the CBDC could still be applied to a stable coin. So I remain optimistic that we're not going to get a CBDC or the surveillance state in the United States of America, but we're going to have to continue to fight this because we're still dealing with Elizabeth Warrens and the better markets of the world that are trying to support the SEC, trying to still fight this thing. And if they had their way, it would be full CBDC surveillance state. I remain optimistic for America and for the rest of the world. I pray that you guys can get yourselves away from a CBDC system as well. Now, we did just get a new super chat here from Tom. Thank you, Tom. I push close to 2,000 auto loans a month for the largest lender in the United States. They changed their new loan structures to dynamic pricing. Play on words to overcharge. Yep. Scam. Also, does anybody remember laughter? Tom, always appreciate you for lightening us up, reminding me to laugh at some of these trolls. Still showing up. Tom, I appreciate you. And great point. Yeah, exactly. They have come up with the slickest terms to sell whatever they're trying to sell you, right? Whether it's auto loans, whether it's these exchanges with their dynamic pricing. In my landscape business, right? When I had my property service business, we had what was called dynamic pricing during the spring rush, right? When your phone's ringing off the hook, those prices just keep going up and up and up and up. And then us landscapers, come wintertime, we're calling you, begging you, hey, can I come pick up some branches? Can I come pick up some leaves? How'd that windstorm treat your property? Did you get any trees fall down? We're begging you for work. We're willing to work for a hot meal. Us poor landscapers. Hey, I'll work for soup and a case of beer, please. I remember those days. Been a while, thank God. I remember those days. That's dynamic pricing in the landscape business. You guys know. If you guys are a contractor, if you guys know about that, you know all about that. The dynamic pricing. Love it. Sonny Abdul, thank you for the 10 spot. I doubt the US will use Bitcoin as a reserve. They'd miss a good price entry. XRP seems like a better option. Thoughts? I'm all in favor of us holding on to our Bitcoin that we've seized, from Silk Road and other Bitcoin that's been seized by the Department of Justice and the Marshals. I'm all for them just saying, hey, we're just going to hold on to this Bitcoin. We don't know what to do with it. We don't want to sell it. We're not going to buy more, but we're just going to hold this. I'd be fine with that. As an American citizen, I'm fine with that. Now, on the other side, I think that it is absolutely absurd for these guys like Michael Saylor and others to be saying, and I don't know if it's Michael Saylor, but some of these Bitcoin maxis have been suggesting that we should sell off our gold to buy Bitcoin. Okay, that's absurd. That's ludicrous. Okay. But as far as just holding on to the Bitcoin we have, I'm fine with that. Right. I think that's all right. If you already have Bitcoin and you're just going to hold on to it and wait for it to go, up and up and up, I get that. I really do. I would argue that your capital could be put to better use in other assets. I mean, take your pick. I think that you could do a lot better in many other cryptocurrencies, especially this bull run, like over the next year. But if you're the US government and the cost basis on your Bitcoin zero, Well, it was never your capital to begin with. So, I'm fine with us creating a strategic reserve that does include Bitcoin and us just holding on to that Bitcoin. As far as acquiring more, I don't really see the point, other than there's other assets that would perform better. So if we're going to have that conversation, we have to get into it. And there's people smarter than me that could probably help with that. But I think that there's no need to really start buying Bitcoin, in my opinion. Carlos, thank you for the 2 spot. What's your top option for both gaming and AI? Ooh, NVIDIA. I mean, even though NVIDIA is kind of top, I mean, honestly, I'm not too much into the AI and the gaming crypto plays. I have not seen anything that impresses me. Obviously, some of these projects have been hyped up. People have made money on some of these gaming coins or AI coins. I know that Fetch AI is one of the most popular AI coins. I just think that those narratives have been overplayed too much. And so I don't own any coin that's like an AI or gaming play. So sorry, Carlos, I wish I could answer that better. That's just not. The reason why is because those markets are so much more smaller than the larger, payment problems that we're looking to solve. The XRP, XLM, XDC are looking to solve multi-trillion-dollar problems versus the entire gaming industry's, worth a few $100 billion. Now, there's still money to be made. Those are plays that I'll miss. And that's the thing, is that I'm content missing on some of these other plays and other sectors that I don't understand. I continue to bash blockchain gaming because I've yet to see a blockchain game put out that has updated graphics. Like, every blockchain game I've seen is putting out graphics that we saw back in the early 2000s on video games, back when I was playing on the first PlayStation. And so if you can't do better graphics than the first PlayStation, I don't know what we're doing. What's going on here? And that's kind of what I've seen with blockchain gaming. So now, obviously, I'm kind of beating it up a little bit, but there has been some that are coming along, and there will be more. What's the best blockchain gaming play? Whichever crypto Grand Theft Auto 6 adopts, that's going to be the best one. Whatever crypto Call of Duty adopts, right? Whatever crypto Fortnite adopts, that's the best gaming crypto play, in my opinion. Okay, William, thank you for the 5 spot. Trump's XRP bag that Ripple gave him on the December 20th is up over 2 million. Yeah. The bag that the Kamala Harris team got is up pretty good as well. But with all the campaign donations, what ends up happening is they get converted to USDC right away. That's how those work. So all of those get converted over to USDC right away. So the $10 million worth of XRP, or the 10 million XRP that Chris Larson donated to Kamala, that gets sold off right away into USDC. Unfortunately for them, they should have held on to the bag, shouldn't they? Kamala should have known that she had no chance of winning, and she should have just held on to the bag of XRP and told the campaign team, don't sell that bag of XRP. Let's hold it. We're not going to use it to spend on marketing or anything like that. Let's not waste it. Let's just hold it. That would have been the smart move. D. Hellas, thank you for the 298 in the SGD. What currency is that? D. Hellas, thank you for the SGD. What kind of funny fiat money is that? Appreciate your support. Gombada, thank you for the 5 spot. Speaking of funny money, we do accept the Canadian. Thank you. Appreciate you. Zach, did you read what Sean McBride posted about the case being either dismissed or resolved within the week? Any info on that? Yeah, that's just his speculation. I saw that tweet. Sean, he used to be a former employee at Ripple. And I think that he's kind of just seeing kind of what I'm seeing and some of us are looking at, right? Is that, you have the first Sunshine Act taking place, first Sunshine meeting taking place since Gary Gensler left. New SEC is in charge. We got a new crypto task force, or I forget what they've called their group that they're working on. I think it's a crypto task force that the SEC created yesterday. And how do you put yourself on the map? How do you send a message? You settle up the Ripple case and you go in front of the American people with President Trump and you say, Mr. Trump, we're going to show you here with this example of settling up this Ripple case that we want innovation. We want American capitalists and entrepreneurs to thrive in this country. And so we've decided to actually withhold collecting the penalty. And we've actually settled up for $0 with Ripple. And we're excited that you've added them to your crypto council. We believe that Brad Garlinghouse and team will be well suited right alongside you as we become the leaders in the cryptocurrency space. That's how you get it done. Okay. If I had the chance to sit across the table from Hester Pierce and Mark Uyeda and they said, hey, Zach, what should we do to send a message that the SEC is done stifling innovation, that the SEC is done and we're actually going to restore the gold standard of capital markets in the world? What should we do, Zach? That's what you do. You go in front, just like all these other business guys that said that they're going to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in the U.S., you go in front with the press conference with Trump on your side and you say, Mr. Trump, we got your mandate. We got your message. We're getting to work. And we're going to start here with the settlement here with Ripple. We're not going to take any money from them. And we're actually going to suggest that they invest here in the United States. And then Brad comes out from behind the curtain. And then Brad announces a new $1 billion investment in the United States of America. One can be hopeful, right? One can dream. But really, I mean, seriously, why not? Why not settle this thing up and send the message? I think it's coming. Whether it's this week, next week, it's coming soon. Mr. Pavalava, thank you for the 2 spot. You gonna buy any Joey Fat Toes coin? What? I can't with you guys. What? Mr. Pavalava, thank you for the 2 spot. I don't know what that coin is. And I based off the name, I'm probably not going to be a buyer. Okay? Where can I short it? Man, I wish that we had some markets developed for shorting some of these meme coins. Gosh, we'd make just a boatload of money. Oh, there's somebody else. What the heck? You guys are crazy in the chat. You guys are insane. Bearable Guy says Brad has an ace up his sleeve still. The bear just showed us. Right there. That's the hidden hand waving the white flag. The bear just told us that they've surrendered. The castle is ours. The crown is ours. I love getting the decode for my daughter. She says, yes, the king is hiding in the woods. The bear's on the horse. The knight's on the unicorn, and he has the crown now. He took the crown from the king. Starting them young on the decodes. The bear was always right, wasn't he? What entry price are you aiming for on Trump coin? Well, it's building support right now, just below, right at about $40, right? So, I don't know. I really was not planning on throwing much more capital at cryptocurrency for now, but sometimes you see opportunities come along. Like I threw some more money at XCN. That was last week. XCN's the most recent coin that I've bought. Brett on TikTok asks, what are your thoughts about the CME futures? It's massive. It's the next step towards the ETFs. Before the SEC will approve the ETFs, they really like to see a futures market established. They want basically people to be able to go long and go short to just build up more liquidity for these assets to make sure that they're mature enough for a liquid ETF. So the futures going live. February 10th is the date that we're expecting those to go live. The CME futures for XRP and XRP and Solana. That's a step in the right direction towards an XRP ETF. What about HBAR? Big fan. Oh, I don't know if I'd call myself a big fan, but I am a fan. I do own some. Yeah. J11, thank you for the 20 spot. Congrats, XRP holders, and thank you, Zach. I appreciate your support. Heath Herndon, 20 spot. National debt payoff, Bitcoin price 36 million, or XRP at 8,000 for 5 billion, which is more likely. I will take door number 2. I'll tell you what, Heath, I'm glad you brought this up because I've been meaning to make a point on this. I'll take door number 3, which is writing off some of that debt. In fact, I have it teed up here in a separate update. I'm going to break this down, who we actually owe that $35 trillion to. And there's going to be some pain, but not everybody's going to be able to get paid. And here's the thing, whether I like this or whether you like this or don't like this idea of us not paying back some of those debt holders, I think that that's what Trump's going to do. Whether I like it, whether you like it, whether I hate it, he's gonna do some sort of writing off of this debt, in my opinion. He won't call it a default. I don't think that he's going to want to call it a default. That would be seen as, a negative versus calling it a debt restructuring, which is very common. This is a very, very normal thing. We've allowed countries that owed us money to restructure their debt payments to us, right? And so I know folks are talking about, I asked the question, I said, guys, please give me just give me one problem that Bitcoin, give me one problem that America faces that Bitcoin can solve. Simple question. Give me one problem that America faces that Bitcoin can solve. Can it solve anything to do with payments? No, we know that, right? It's just not efficient. We know it can't do anything there. What could it be? The only thing that people have suggested is it can be a store of value to help us pay off the debt. Well, what if we're not going to pay back the debt? Should we pay back the debt? Right? That's the only solution I've heard of after I've asked that question of the community. Give me one problem that America faces that Bitcoin solves. There's not one. Especially if we're just going to write off this debt and it's not going to be paid, then there's no reason to sell off our Bitcoin to pay it off. We don't have to wait for Bitcoin to go to $1 million to pay off our debt. We don't have to buy XRP and write XRP up to pay off our debt. We're just going to write it off. And in my opinion, that's the most likely scenario with what's going to happen here on our debt. Dennis says the banks will all use RLUSD, Euro, US dollars, Japanese. Yeah. I think that Ripple's setting the standard for stable coins on the XRP ledger, and I think that many other currencies are going to be coming live on the XRP ledger here soon. Many other stable coins are going to be issued. I don't know if Ripple's going to do them all or if they're going to partner up with some of their institutional partners to issue those, but I think that they are coming. Carlos, appreciate the 5 spot. Appreciate your input. I've been following all institution buys like World Liberty Finance and others, and it's paying off from stocks to crypto. Carlos, great work. Yeah. The only one that hasn't been moving is Ethereum. Right? World Liberty Financial and Trump team, they've been buying Ethereum. Ethereum's, I'm not even trying to FUD Ethereum. It's just they're trying to redo their foundation. Now they have problems with storage. Milady, thank you for the hearts. Appreciate the gifts, guys. Appreciate the super chats. All the love. If you guys haven't already, please make sure we smack it or tap it. Appreciate you. But yeah, Ethereum, not looking good. But I appreciate your support, Carlos. And yeah, that's a great way to do it. Just follow what they're doing, right? Jay, appreciate that big fitty spot. That's a big one. Jay, thank you so much for your support, brother. Peter coming in with the 2. Zach, do you hold ABT coin? What's ABT coin? I don't know if I've ever heard of that. ABT? Is that Alliance blockchain? ABT? Let me look it up. Arc Block. Oh my goodness. Every day there's a new coin. Arc Block. Up 31% in the past day. It was up even more. Here's your chart in the last day. What is the all-time high was $4.70 8 months ago. The all-time low was in 2020. So this coin has been around for a while. Let's go to the all-time chart. Wow. Okay, so this coin launched in 2018 during the ICO phase. Okay, all-time high was at the beginning, basically May of last year. Now here we are. What have we done in the last month? In the last month, we're still down 8%. On the week, we've made a little bit of a pop. And on the day, okay, so we got a little bit of momentum here behind Arc Block. Is there any news? Last month, ABT partnered with Google Cloud. Google is worth approximately $2.4 trillion. Okay, so this is a prime example right here, guys. I want to show you this. This is a really good learning lesson for everybody in this space, especially for the new people. Because this is where valuations and expectations get misconstrued and get completely out of whack when people are investing in the crypto space. This is a prime example. Take a look at this. So there's your chart on CoinMarketCap. I'm going to slide over right here. And right here, what do you see? Right here, this is the latest news about this Arc Block coin. And Crypto King 25, what does he say? Last month, ABT partnered with Google Cloud. Google is worth approximately $2.4 trillion, right? That's the market cap of the stock of Google. And ABT is worth only $106 million. Remember, Google is over 25 years old, while Arc Block is just beginning. The next generation of wealth is being made. And so literally, these guys will misconstrue how this works. And they'll say, oh, because this random coin partnered up with Google Cloud, what kind of partnership is that? Are they actually using the token? Is this just some sort of consultation? Are they just storing some data on Google Cloud? Like, what does this partnership even mean? But don't worry about that. Don't worry about what kind of partnership this is. Don't worry about if they're actually using the token. You need to know that the market cap of Google is worth $2.4 trillion, and the market cap of this coin is only worth $100 million. So clearly, this coin has to go to the moon because they've partnered up with somebody who's worth $2.4 trillion. It doesn't mean a thing unless they're using the token. And this is how you identify. You separate the wheat from the chaff, right? You really dissect these partnerships and look into, are they actually using the token? And what you will find is that 99% of the time they are not. And a lot of the times, and we even saw, and guys, we've learned this in the XRP Ripple community. For years, there's been speculation of Ripple partnering up with Amazon. There's been speculation of Amazon looking to acquire over 1 billion XRP. There's been a lot of speculation about that. The speculation was actually over 5 billion XRP. But nonetheless, just speculation. But then basically, Ripple was using Amazon Web Services, AWS. And so from there were members in the XRP community who said, oh, look at this confirmed partnership between Ripple and Amazon. Okay, what was the partnership? There wasn't any partnership. It was just simply Ripple was tapping into Amazon Web Services, like everybody else pretty much on the internet. It's a very popular service, right? It means nothing. Amazon's not using the token that we know of or that we can confirm. But this is where these false narratives, this misinformation comes about, even with folks having good intentions, right? The average person reads this story. Oh, wow. They've partnered up with Google Cloud. This must be a great project. This project's going to go to the moon. When in all reality, they paid for some press release that's absolutely meaningless, other than it might give a coin a temporary pump with a dump to follow, because it's not for real. It's not real adoption of the token. It's not real liquidity coming on chain. There's a big difference between announcing a partnership and actually using the token. There's a big difference between announcing a partnership and actually putting in some liquidity. Very big difference. And this is a prime example. But hey, I don't know about this coin. This coin does, it popped 30% in the last day. So maybe you have a momentum play there. Already went up to $4 last year. Maybe it's going to go do that again. And you have a play there, triple it up, 4x, 5x return. You might have a play there. I'd have to take a look at it. But I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's a prime example of these projects not having real adoption of the token, but just having cute press releases to put out. Now, back to the super chats. Let's catch up here. Appreciate your guys' support here tonight. Property One Vegas, $58.90. Appreciate that. 589. Zach, we talked about it Sunday during the live. Bought XCN at 1 cent. We will see and talk about it later. Yes. Yeah. XCN. I saw that Economic Ninja had put out another update talking about Chain, which is the company that created the token XCN, has some new roadmap that they're going to be working on. They're working on more developments. And the big news that was shared earlier this week, or was it last week, I guess, was that anybody who used the Chain products and paid in the XCN token would receive a 30% discount. And that was the big news on XCN. Now, if you ask me, that's not big news. That's not a partnership. That's an internal development in the ecosystem. That'd be like Ripple saying that if you use XRP to pay for our custody services, you're going to receive a 30% discount. Fantastic. I mean, that's great. Cool. You're encouraging more people to use the token. That's great. But it's a big difference between getting somebody else to partner up with you and use your token for some sort of utility, right? And so I'm going to be watching this XCN project closely. I will be watching the company Chain, which, to compare the two, right? Chain is the company that's comparable to Ripple. XCN is the token comparable to XRP. And so they tried to distance themselves. They created a DAO, whole governance program, and it's completely decentralized now. And so it checks that box on decentralization. It's just, I would like to see more as far as the development and more partnerships with the token. That's what I'd like to see on XCN. But Property One Vegas, I appreciate that super chat. And even if the sucker goes to, 2 cents, you're going to have doubled up your money. But I did want to correct myself, because last time I talked about this token, XCN, I stated that the all-time high was only about 2 cents. The all-time high is actually 18 cents back in 2022. So here's your all-time chart on XCN, which is the ONX coin. Not to be confused with the ONX blockchain that JP Morgan was working on. That's separate. This ONX coin goes by the ticker XCN. It has nothing to do with JP Morgan. So there's a chart. Let me show you guys right there. You can see that this coin has been struggling basically for the last 2 years, all through 2023, 2024. This thing was trading just in the dumpster. But we finally have had a little bit of a pop here. If you look at the last month, it's up 450%. So that's a coin with real momentum behind it. I don't like to buy into green candles, but I started to look into the coin, and then that's when a pullback happened. It was at 1.5 cents, and it pulled back to 1 cent. Actually, it went below 1 cent. It went down to like 0.08 or 0.008, right? An eighth of a cent, right? And I wasn't able to execute my trade until it was back over a penny. So I got in at 1 cent, and the all-time high on this thing is up there at about 18 cents back in 2022. So once again, there's your chart right there. So well off that previous all-time high. But for me, this gets exciting because I like finding these types of plays where the coin doesn't even have to go to its previous all-time high. You can buy in as it's making that recovery. And I mean, if this thing just goes to 2 cents, I've doubled up my money. If this thing goes, 4 or 5 cents, then, we're catching ourselves a nice little return. And that's what I'm looking for this bull run, right? Is setups like that where I don't necessarily need to go, buy into the narrative. I don't need to buy into thinking that this coin's actually, going to be the best thing ever. But just looking at it as it has something cooking. There's some developers working on it. It has momentum. It's missing memes. I do like to see some memes now, but there are no memes. But okay, but it's a momentum trade for me. I'm going to get in. I'm going to get out. It's not a long-term hold for me. Nothing is a long-term hold for me until I can see institutional adoption coming in like I can on the XRP ledger. Right? And the fundamentals on XRP, there's a reason why XRP is my only long-term hold, other than I'll probably keep a small fraction of my bags on XLM, XDC, and a few of these others. I won't sell the bag off completely, probably, but I'm selling off 90 to 95% of those bags during this bull run. XRP is my only long-term hold. Zach, you're a legend. The Sigma community has gift offers for you. I know. I got to reach out to you guys. I know. I've been getting hit up. I've been getting lit up by these Sigma guys. And they have good memes. They have good culture. I appreciate the vibes. I appreciate the aura. They launched the aura token too, and did a little airdrop there. I'm all about this development in the meme coin space, man. And I'm telling you, this is not stopping. I've been talking about this for the last 2 months, and I didn't even take a sip of my adult beverage. Been going on my rants for too long here tonight, and I forgot to take a sip of our adult beverage. This is not stopping. It's not even close. This really picked up with the meme coins, and that was at the end of October when the meme coins went live on the XRP ledger. So this really started to get cooking. But what's happened now is the XRP is now the number one trending coin in Google searches. XRP has well surpassed Bitcoin as far as Google searches. So it's telling you that more people are interested in XRP than they are Bitcoin. But then what I've noticed on TikTok, and thankfully we are back live on TikTok as well, is that, I've commented how there's these XRP meme coin spaces that have been going on Twitter nonstop. Even on Christmas Day, the meme guys are running Twitter spaces, for crying out loud, right? These guys do not stop. Like 24/7, 365, these memesters are going crazy. These guys are insane. Okay, but we need this. This is great for the space. This is great for XRP's ecosystem. Now, similarly to that, to these meme coin spaces on Twitter going live 24/7, on TikTok, I am seeing TikTok lives going 24/7, 365 around the clock for XRP every single time I open the app. Every single time I open the app and just scroll for a few minutes, I come across the live where somebody's pumping up XRP. I mean, these guys are coming out of the woodworks to pump up XRP. I'm telling you, all sorts of demographics. Guys young, old, guys that are in stocks, but now they're bullish on XRP. I got these guys, and then if you've seen them, they put the green screen behind them with their notes, and they'll put like, oh, I'm 35, I have $1 million in stock, or, 35-year-old millionaire, ask me anything, right? And they got $1 million in stocks, and they got, a few other things, and I own 3 houses, and I'm bullish on XRP. I'm seeing that where it's I'm a millionaire, ask me anything, but then they include bullish on XRP. You're seeing, I've been joking about this. People, young, old, men, women, everybody is pumping XRP on TikTok, on X. We just went on 60 Minutes. We're in the Trump White House. The attention doesn't end here. The pump does not stop here. It's only picking up. And it doesn't matter whether or not anybody knows what they're talking about on TikTok or the Twitter Spaces. It doesn't matter. They're talking about XRP. They're giving us attention. And the more and more people that we can bring in, well, hopefully they can make their way to, good resources within the community for information on XRP. It's just inevitable, though, that there's going to be a bunch of people hyping up XRP, saying that it's going to 10,000. I'm not going to stop them. Go run it up. Go run up your TikTok live and tell everybody it's going to 10,000. I'm not stopping you. Remember, I'm not stopping anybody who says that XRP is going to 10,000. I don't put a limit on how high XRP can go. So go pump it up. You got other people that are still trying to FUD XRP, right? The XRP haters are still working. Not as much. They've really kind of vanished and gone missing in action. But some of them are still out there, still trying to get attention from XRP by sharing XRP FUD. And I say let them, because it's backfiring big time. Every single time these clowns come out and try to say something about XRP, we have XRP communities come in here and just blast these guys, and we ratio them so hard. It's not even close. When I tell you that our content is getting 10 to 100 times more engagement than theirs, I'm not joking around. I'm not just hyping myself up. I'm one of those. I mean, our content is blasting these guys away. It's not even close. And I'm not the only one. We got plenty of other good resources out here in the XRP community, but cumulatively, these guys can't get heard anymore with their XRP FUD. They're still trying to come up with a little story. It goes on deaf ears. Nobody's listening to them anymore. And when people do see it, then they look down in the comments and they see that they're just getting ratioed by XRP community members. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Do I watch XRP Veil? No. To be fair though, I don't really, I obviously tune in from time to time. I'll listen to other folks, I'll listen from time to time to some other folks once in a while, but on a daily basis, I don't watch anybody's crypto content. I only tune into the spaces. And that's pretty much it. But like I said, I can't get away from XRP content. Every time I turn on TikTok, somebody's pumping up an XRP live. Every single time. Doolittle, thank you for the 5 spot. Good question. Why would we ever cash out if the dollar is so devalued? For me, the only reason is to allocate the capital where it can be better deployed. Meaning I have, I think I have better opportunities. And the other thing is that, I'm looking to move some of my capital into real estate because it's more tax favored currently. Obviously, if crypto has no, taxes on capital gains, then that situation will adjust. But for now, I'm looking at moving some of my capital into real estate, mostly for the tax mitigation, but also to get exposure in that asset class. I don't have any exposure there, and so we need to take care of that. But it's a good point, and that's why I'm holding, most of my bag, 50% of my bag I'm holding forever. Josh Castro, thank you for the 10 spot. When you say you're going to look into the company chain, etc., or for example, how do you do this? How can we do our own investigating on companies like this? That's a good question, because really that's what I'm here to do, is to show you guys the tools that I use, to show you guys the strategies that I apply for researching these so that you have the tools yourself, because there's no way that I can review all 50,000 different cryptocurrencies, right? So, teach the man to fish, right? That's the old adage there, the old story. So we're going to teach you how to fish. And the main thing that I'm going to look at is first off, the team. Who put this company together? What's their track record? Have they been successful in this business? Have they been successful in other businesses? Where do they come from? What kind of connections do they have? And then I'm going to look at the company. I'm going to look at the token supply. That's a big one too. We want to see how much is circulating versus how much is locked up, how much gets released every single month. One thing that I noticed on XEN, this is some alpha for you guys on the XEN. Go look at the past year. You will notice the XCN dumps, or not necessarily dumps, but it pulls back on the first of every single month, which just so happens to coincide when about 200 million of the tokens get released to the foundation on the first of every single month. So I'm expecting another pullback on XCN around the first of the month for February. And my hope on this momentum trade is that we're going to see XCN rally through the end of this year. And then I was going to see if I could take some profit before we get that dip on the first of the month that it's been seen every single month. But once again, I picked up on that because when I went to look at this company, then I realized, well, looking into the token supply and the distribution, that they're getting 200 million tokens every single month. Now, I wasn't able to confirm that they're dumping those tokens. I don't know what they're doing with them, but what gets interesting is, the 200 million tokens that they were getting, while the token traded at a fraction of a penny, wasn't that much, right? They were getting equivalent of, 20,000, 50,000, a couple $100,000 at the beginning of the month worth of those tokens. Well, now, while the token trades at 1 cent or 2 cent, that's equivalent to a couple million coming to them at the first of every month. So we need to see what they're doing with it. You need to see if they're reinvesting back in the ecosystem or if they're actually just dumping on you, which you don't want that to be the case, right? And so really what it comes down to is looking at the team, looking at the tokenomics, and then looking at who can they convince to use their token. That's the number one question. Who's using the token? But you want to really dig into these companies because, you look at a company like Ripple, they're flush with cash, plenty of XRP. They don't need to dump on us, and they haven't been dumping on us, right? Versus some of these other companies, they're desperate. They're not reinvesting in the ecosystem. They're cashing out and launching another token. And that's typically what we see, and that's always a concern for me. One of the projects that I've seen do that is Sologenic and Corium. And obviously the two different projects have their own use case. Sologenic is an issued asset on the XRP ledger that taps into the XRP ledger DEX. They've created a user interface. That's a simple value proposition. Sologenic has its use case there. Corium is a separate layer one. It's a different use case. But I get concerns when these teams launch token and we need another token for this use case. That's kind of a red flag for me. But if in an example of Sologenic and Corium, at least you have two distinct use cases and separate use cases that don't really overlap in any way that's kind of conflicting. That's important. Some of these projects you'll see, they launch a token, then they launch another token for some other reason. And it's like they kind of just become a token factory and they kind of just abandon the original project that you invested in. I don't like that. Have I heard of USDR on the Lobster network pegged 1-to-1 with RLUSD? No. Just don't waste your time over there. It's nothing against Lobster. Lobster is just like the Xaman wallet. It's a non-custodial wallet on the XRP, or it's a non-custodial wallet on the Stellar network. So not all of the tokens on Stellar are scams, but 90% of them are. And there's no reason for you to need to have RLUSD token. There is a reason for this, but I'm just speaking like to us right now. Why would I need RLUSD on Stellar? I don't. There's nothing over there for me to do with RLUSD over on Stellar. Like, of course, I could add it to the liquidity pools. I could play around just for the sake of playing around. But there's nothing for me to do over there. So is it backed 1-to-1? Probably not. Is it another scam on the Stellar network? Probably. There's many of them. There's thousands of scams on the Stellar network. Just like there's thousands of scams on the XRP ledger. These are open source and permissionless. But don't worry about trying to play around with this crap. There's just don't waste your time. And if my response is abrasive, it's because I'm trying to get my point across. Don't waste your time. Does this token represent 100% of India's gold reserves? No, it doesn't. Does this token represent tokenized oil from Russia? No. It represents a scam, nothing else. Don't fall for those Stellar scams, okay? All scams. Or at least 99% of those projects that are claiming that, oh, this token represents the gold in South Africa. This token represents the silver in India. No, it doesn't. It represents a scam. And you're going to lose your money. Now, eventually, we would like to see RLUSD issued on Stellar. When it comes to these issued assets, just like, you know, this person was asking about looking into companies, you need to go look into the issuer. Okay, somebody issued tokenized gold on Stellar, or you know, this is China's gold tokenized on the Stellar network. Okay, who's the issuer? When you can't find one single thing about that issuer, that's all you need to know. You don't need to look any further. You don't need to waste more than 60 seconds after you go look at the issuer and you realize, oh wow, this issuer has also issued dozens of other coins on the Stellar network that all have a claim, that all have a story, and that are all scams. So please be aware of those, okay? It's just, I know of people that have lost hundreds of thousands and millions to Stellar scams. So that's why that issue hits a nerve for me, because we've had our community members have lost a lot of money over there, okay? No one's going to double your XRP if you send them XRP. That's right. And I don't do DMs, so please don't try to DM me, okay? The only place to get in touch with me, you already know. No DMs. My DMs are off on TikTok. We don't do DMs, okay? I talk with my Discord community. You can DM me there. The only other place, you know. No DMs, though. Is XLM a scam? No. XLM's not a scam. Stellar is not a scam. Lobster Wallet's not a scam. I have the Lobster Wallet. I hold my SHX. I have a little bit of XLM in there. And basically, I use Lobster just like I use the Xaman wallet. It's a good wallet to hold some XLM, but it's also a great wallet for interacting with the decentralized exchange that's built into the Stellar network. It's just, there's really not much. There's a few legitimate projects on Stellar, but not that many. I hold Stronghold, SHX. I have a little bit of Aqua. I might have a couple others, but not many. Are we allowed to stake XRP? Not yet. There's no staking on the XRP ledger. There's some platforms that are trying to offer basically a form of staking, a form of, you know, yield farming. But just be cautious. Once again, to be a successful investor in this space, you need to be able to conduct due diligence not only on tokens, but on companies that are around these tokens. You need to be able to conduct due diligence on AMM liquidity pools before you add assets there. And then you definitely want to be able to conduct due diligence on anybody who's offering you any sort of yield for your assets while they custody your assets, right? So before anybody's getting my XRP, one, I'm going to have to trust that you can keep the XRP safe. And two, I'm going to need to see that you can generate a sustainable yield, a yield that can be sustained over a significant period of time. Not just a yield that's, hey, you know, the first people that get into this yield farm are going to get 30%, but then we're just going to dwindle that down lower and lower and lower until you got nothing. And then basically what happens on these coins is, yeah, you're receiving free tokens for staking, but the token value is just plummeting in value. And so you're not making anything. You're actually losing money. Yes, you have more tokens. You have more tokens that are worth less and less every single day. So once again, before anybody gets my XRP for staking or yield or loans or anything like that, one, can you keep it safe? Institutional grade custody is a must. Segregated accounts is a must. And some of them will start to implement insurance as well, which will be nice to have. And then next, where's the yield coming from? Don't expect to you know, everything's going to be just safe and smooth sailing, and everybody's going to be able to put up their XRP, and everybody's going to be able to make 20% on their XRP, and we're all going to get rich and have passive income and sit on the beach with our feet up. You know, you might think that you're doing that until you find out that that custodian lost your XRP, until you put up your XRP for a loan and you don't read the small fine print where it says if the XRP or the value of your collateral goes down by 50%, that we get to liquidate your position and take your assets. Because you're going to think that you are making passive income with your feet up, sitting on the beach. And the next thing you know, you're going to be liquidated and all your XRP is going to be gone because you didn't read the fine print on that little DeFi contract. So don't rush into any DeFi program without conducting due diligence. That's the point that I want to get across to you guys. I know everybody's antsy to earn yield on their XRP. Okay, but before you rush in, can they secure the bag and can they generate sustainable yield? And guess what? Everybody and their brother can give you 4 and 5% because that's where the bond market's at. And to put this simply, as far as I view 5%, where I come from, we use the term, we call, 5% on your money is what we call pissing in the wind. You're not getting anywhere. You're not accomplishing anything. You're not beating inflation. If you're Warren, the Oracle of Omaha, Buffett, and you have, what does he have? He has 300 billion to put into some treasuries that are earning 5%. Well, then you're making a difference. You know, you're relieving yourself with the wind helping you. Okay, so hopefully I get my point across there. The problem is, to achieve better than 5%, you're going to be taking on risk, right? So just stay safe out there and be ready to conduct due diligence on any of these DeFi platforms before you give them your hard-earned XRP or any other digital assets for that matter. Michael Clark, thank you for the 20 spot, brother. That's a big one. Appreciate that. Thank you. Any other final comments, questions? I appreciate you guys for stopping by here tonight. We are approaching 2 hours on the call. It was nice to get started a little bit earlier. I got started about 6:30 here on the West Coast, 9:30 Eastern. Got a little jump on it here tonight, huh? I still have barely drank my adult beverage. Maybe I'll have to stay on a little bit longer. I still got half this thing left to go. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you, Zach? 10. Right now, my mood is all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. For XRP, for me, my business, my family, other than me and wifey are taking a break before we reproduce. So in that aspect, we are putting the brakes on. We are pumping the brakes. I'm pulling the emergency e-brake too. We're pulling a couple brakes. Hold up on that one. That's the only aspect of my life that I'm pumping the brakes on. Okay. Other than that, we'll get that rolling again here soon. But for now, we're taking a break. God willing. Jay, thank you for the 10 spot. Zach, I will double your XRP. Send me 1. I will give you 2. Jay, don't fool the new people. The new people are going to be thinking, oh, is that what that Brad Garlinghouse ad was about? The one that said, send Brad my money and he's going to send me money back? Spoiler alert, Brad is not going to send you any XRP. Thanks for the heads up. East Afro King, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. $6.99. Thank you. Where's XRP at? Down to 313 right now. Yeah, that's just fine. It's just fantastic. The consolidation above $3 is just fantastic. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap up this session then. I really do appreciate everybody for stopping by here tonight. Wanted to give you guys this XRP pump update. Remind everybody that we still are in the middle of a pump. Don't get impatient right now. Now is not the time to get impatient, okay? This bull run is far from over, not just for XRP, but for a lot of these assets. Now, you guys already know how you can support me. You can like this video, or if you don't like it, just give me something, please. That's all I ask, okay? This content is free, but I do ask you for a reaction. So give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, drop a comment down below. Tell me what you love, tell me what you hate. And you guys can comment down below and let me know what you guys would like to see me cover in some of our next updates. Tomorrow's update is going to be absolutely critical. You will not want to miss it. And by the way, guys, we blew through 8,000 live viewers concurrently. This live stream has been so lit tonight. Over 20,000 viewers on YouTube. If I had to guess, we pushed over 10,000 on TikTok. I don't know how many we did on Twitter, but this is how we max engage. This is how we get the good word out about XRP and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. I really do appreciate your support. It means the world to me. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening. Thank you for all the gifts, all the love. We have new merch available. And yes, I got some new stuff cooking up. We got new merch coming for the foreseeable future. There is no end in sight to some of these designs. We've got a list now that we are working on. And so we got new merch that's going to be dropping later this week. And I do want to let you guys know for Canada and Australia, we will be going live most likely by the end of this week with Canada and Australia. Okay. So we just found a new partner that's going to be able to get us our prices down. Still not as cheap as sending it here in the United States, but you got to pay to play. And so we're looking at what we can do here. We're going to set a flat shipping fee for Canada and a flat one for Australia. And we're hoping to be going live with that by the end of this week. So stay tuned for that. If you guys have any inquiries into the merch, you can email merch@zachrector.com is our official email for all merch inquiries. But we should be going live with Canada and Australia by the end of this week. I appreciate all of you guys' support. Make sure you guys come on back tomorrow. You guys are not going to want to miss this update I got for you. And I will see you guys in the next one, okay? God bless all of you guys. Thank you so much. Take care.